So nice to meet you, see you, although I say meet you, but I understand we've met before.
We have. We met on April 30th, 1997. And I know that date so well because it was the night that the puppy episode came out. And I was bummed because I had to work. I was working in a restaurant in San Francisco called Zuni Cafe. And I was the closer. So it was about 9:45, and I was just happy that, people were clearing out. And they're like, Colman, we have one last table for you. I was like, oh, man, really? They're like, yeah, but I think you'll like the table. And I go to my table, and you're sitting there with a friend, and I'm blown away because I'm like, wait, this is the most epic night in the world. And she's here with me. This is cool because also, as an openly gay actor who was coming up in the Bay Area, it was a significant moment, and I knew it meant everything. And so you were looking down because there's an alleyway right off of the table, and there were a group of kids. They were like maybe 15, 16-year-olds, maybe about 5 of them. And you said, out of nowhere, you were halfway done your meal, you said, is it okay if we buy them some food, dessert, something? And I said, I would love that. I think the kitchen's closed, but I think we can do dessert. So I went down, and I said, hey, guys, Mr. Generous would like to buy you guys some food. And they were like, what? Get out of here. Are you kidding me? What? I said, yeah, she's right there. They're like, get out of here. So I brought them in, sat them down at some tables, and served them. And they were, when I tell you, it was the most beautiful, the kindest gesture I had seen to date. And I've always wanted to sit here and tell you that story, because it meant the world.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. That's so sweet, and I love that we met before. I love that, and I love that you're openly gay, and I love that you're so successful, and that you're not a waiter at Zuni Cafe anymore.
I know, I gave up my shifts. Isn't that crazy?
By the way, I love that. Whenever I'm in San Francisco, I love that place. It's great food.
Perfect.
So congratulations on Euphoria, though. I mean, that's.
Thank you.
And to see that you're so different than your character. It's you could not be more opposite than your character.
I'm a tried and true character actor, so I think I'm a lighthearted human being, and I seem to be given a lot of roles to play the heavy. But I play the sponsor of Zendaya's Rue on Euphoria, and I'm sort of like a grounding force in this wild hurricane of the disease of addiction and wild kids doing wild things. So I love that I get to do that, and it's a really beautiful cast and character. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, and especially this season, it's shot on film, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I know you were a waiter. We just talked about, but you also worked in a circus.
I did.
Which is very impressive. That you would actually just audition to be in a circus.
I did, and that's me up there. I'm playing the evil salamander monster. And Make a Circus, which was a political children's circus that tours all over California. I think they're still in existence. But I was 21 and skinny and, game, and I went and auditioned for this because, I needed a job. And one of the masters, Master Lu Yi, said, oh, you have Mu Chi. I was like, I don't know what that is. He says, you have big heart, you can do anything. And so, as 21-year-old artist looking for a gig, I learned to become an aerial web artist, 6 feet tall stilts, clowning, juggling, everything.
Wow.
And no, I can't do any of that anymore.
Yeah, well, gee, that's why we had you here. Okay. So let's talk about the documentary.
Yeah.
You get to do one of the speeches of Frederick Douglass, and that must be incredible. I mean, you're just Euphoria and then the documentary.
Well, the beautiful thing is, honestly, I do so much varied work, and you really want to have space to do the work like a documentary about Frederick Douglass. And basically, I'm recalling one of his speeches. It's produced by Henry Louis Gates Jr., who's one of the most brilliant minds and academics. And so I get to just really recall these speeches that were laid out in such an extraordinary way and how they resonate today. But also to amplify someone like Frederick Douglass, who people may know only by a haircut or something like that, but not the man.
Yeah, well, good for you for doing so many different things.
Thank you.
From aerial artist to Euphoria to this. I mean, fantastic. And so nice to meet you.
You too.
All right. You can watch Euphoria and Frederick Douglass in 5 speeches on HBO Max. We'll be right back.